Day, a lot of people thinking he was certain to start in the center of defense. He is on the bench, and I gather his father has flown in from the UK to see his son hopefully take the field at some point. It is Billy Ketjo who gets us going here in this AFF Suzuki Cup 2020 match. Laos taking on Indonesia. With the Indonesians playing in white. Laos the home team today, the nominal home team. Just seeing how they're going to set themselves up here. Already you can see AFF Suzuki very, very high up the pitch. The left back. That's now across to the centre back, cleared away. Well, I can tell you that they are indeed going with 5 at the back. They're not the very optimistic 4 that they were telling everyone. 5-4-1, which has been pretty much their formation throughout this tournament, with Billy Ketjo leading the line. There goes just why Ricky Kambuaya losing the ball. Here's Buncapan. Wide, there's a little bit of space here for Kidavon. Bit of a handoff there. Did well, quite well to get past Irfan. And they'll have for a free kick. This is where they could be dangerous. They got Billy Ketjo up there, who's the biggest player. Of course, he plays in Ligue 2, second tier of French football for Dunkirk. Was naturalised a short while ago, just a few weeks ago. That's not bad. Buncapan coming in for that header. Here's Asnawi. Applies his trade in Korea. Now, Evan Dimas, of course, everything will go through him. He's the key man here for Indonesia, the skipper of the side. It does appear that they're going lovely through ball. Flag stays down. Didik Setiawan. Looks like they will indeed go with a 4-1-4-1. And that is clearly onside, played on by Shidi. We were told by the some Indonesian officials they'll flip between a 4-3-3 and a 4-1-4-1, depending on the situation. Right now they're seeing a lot of the ball. Here's Asnawi. It's a delightful ball. Needed to be a better touch on that, really. A bit disappointing from AFF Suzuki. Shin Tae-yong. He's not one to mince his words, the South Korean. He felt his players underestimated Cambodia, and especially in the second half. Had to make some forced changes, as I mentioned, with in the back. Billy Ketjo with the header on. Good work from him. Foul on Buncapan. Yeah, Sharul Trisna, the goalkeeper, copping a fair bit of criticism in the way he conceded 2 goals. A bit of bad defending, really. That led to a header for the first one, and then a big deflection off a free kick. Otherwise, didn't have actually that much to do. Unfortunately for keepers, you are just remembered really for the mistakes. And if we're very kind, that will be the first chance for Laos. Here's Irfan. Or first on target, I think, to be a bit more accurate. Why Kushedia, whose father sadly has just passed away. And there was speculation as to whether he might even play today, and he has said that if he did, he wants to score goals for his father. So a tough time for Kushedia. Same thing has happened recently with Daisuke Sato, whose father also recently passed away before the tournament. Well, what we're seeing here from Laos is how they kind of approached the game against Malaysia, in that they were a little bit more adventurous. And they ventured forward far more than they did against Vietnam. They just sat back. I think a very good job of it, I have to say. Billy Kekyo just trying to close down here on Rahmat Irianto. One back by Didik. Good work down that right-hand side. Oh, Edo Febriancha tries to put it back in the mix. It looks like Kushedio and Didik are just going to be swapping places between that right-hand side of attack and up front. And there was a bit of criticism as well for Ezra Walian, brought into the side, man who's had a pedigree from, played for Ajax Youth. Referee unintentionally intervenes. Will be a drop ball for Indonesia. One anticipated there from Tipachan. That's just too much on that one for Edo. Seeing a lot of the ball in these early stages. The pass was on from Erwin Dimas. You can see what he was trying to do.
Yeah, first time, yeah.
Kyeodon actually has had probably a very good tournament, the Laos goalkeeper. Somehow got that away. Long Luang. Viselvaraj has got them playing compact football. It's generally risk averse. There he is. Singaporean. The technical director is a Singapore legend, Visundra Murthy. And they're both pretty much on the same page on how they like their teams set up. Ricky Kambuaya And what they can do is make it very difficult, cut out the spaces, flood that midfield. They were, in the end, undone by Malaysia's quality attack, but they took some time. Malaysia looked a bit shaky in that first half. They looked very solid, I must say, against Vietnam for much of that match in their first game. Indonesia switched off a little bit against Cambodia. Out wide, here is Edo. There's Rahmat Irianto, just venturing a little further forward than he normally does. Alfriada Dewanga. Just taking a little too much time on the ball. Got to be careful, Kidavon. Now Bunpachan. Long Luang. Looking for some support here with Billy Kekyo. Bunpachan. Tidy football at the moment from Laos, and of course, as soon as I say that, the ball is very cheaply given away by Kahan. Well, the flag will certainly go up for their well offside. They stepped up pretty well there, that back line. You can have no complaints there, Irfan. Yep, nicely done there by Ashidi. And now we're hearing the Indonesian fans. So far, Indonesians haven't really troubled Kyodon. Bunpachan, who's been lively today, plies his trade in Thailand. In fact, a number of this Thai side play overseas. Mitsada in the central defence does that. Putasai, the skipper, as well. Plus one with Satu United. Putasai with Samut Prakan. Bunpachan with Port. Sukapon is not available today with Udon Thani. So there's some quality about the side, but lacking that cohesion. As for Indonesia in this squad, Asnawi, as I mentioned, plays in Korea with Ansan Greeners, Elkan Baggett with Ipswich Town under-23s. He's coming specially for this one. Shadia Nabimanyu on the bench for Johor Darul Taksim and Egi Maulana. And he eventually does come along, playing in Europe with Seneca. They also, of course, have Witan Sulaiman, who plays for Lechia Gdansk in Poland. It's a wild shot from Irianto, who scored 2 goals off corners in the last game. 3 headers. That was a bit of poor defending from Cambodia. Already talking tactics here. Shin Tae-yong had said that he was going to go all out today. Luis Alvarez says he's got quality players and the belief in the team. And he just said he wanted more time with the players and he feels that things could be different. And like I said, he took exception to some of the comments from Shin Tae-yong. He said he's going to show that to his players and use it as motivation. That's probably why some of the Laotian players were also having a bit of a dig today at the Indonesians, well, being a dark horse and looking to score some goals. So far, so good for Laos. Decent ball in the box, away by Mitsada. Ewan Dimas losing out here. Patana. Now on the counter, this is when they can be dangerous, Laos. Patana. There's Tipachan. Touch on by Patana. Here's Kambuaya. It's a nice ball, but oh, he spilt it. Kyodon partially redeemed himself, cleared it away, but only as far as a fullback. A punch clear. Could he have caught that? Got away with that, Kyodon. Slightly nervy from him. He certainly has been one of their stand-up performers in this competition. Oh, that was a little slow from the keeper. Jinxed him there a little bit, haven't I? Not been a good couple of minutes for the man in the middle for between the sticks for Laos. That looked a very straightforward take, didn't it? And he spilt that. Slightly better punch. Now out across to Kushedia. That's good defending of Tipachan. It'll be a corner. Remember that I mentioned that Rahmat Irianto took advantage of some slack defending to score 2 headers, 3 headers in the last game against Cambodia. There he is, and just in your picture there. Ewan Dimas had a lot of bodies in front of him. He scored a goal, didn't he, Ewan Dimas? A deflected effort. And the substitute, Ramai Rumakiek. A wonderful curling effort. Despite all that, a fair bit of criticism for Indonesia. Kushedia, who is swapped now with Dedek Setiawan. 75% of the ball at the moment, Indonesia, but have they done really very much with it? I would venture, no, they haven't really. And I think it's been pretty comfortable, hasn't it, for the Laotians. Given away by Billy there as he tried to wriggle his way out. Ricky Kambuaya. Mitsada clears. Keeping it alive there, Kambuaya. Dewanga. Oh, worth a shot, I think he'll feel. Alfiandra Dewanga came in for a little bit of criticism. Made his debut in the AFF in the last game. Got blamed for the first goal, for his positioning. It's interesting that they've gone for Rizki at the back. Lots of talk about whether it was Elkan Bagat, Victor Igbonefo, whether Fakhruddin Arianto would be involved as well. Experienced defenders. There's Alfiandra trying to get involved now. The fullback, Irfan. And the foul by Shidi. He'll get free kick. It is congested, isn't it? A lot of bodies inside that penalty area. Look at that, tussling away. Referee is just going to tidy this up a bit. Pulling them out. Let's have a word. And keeping a close eye on you. This is good work from Kim Hee-gon. Opportunity here for Indonesia to take the lead. That was a low one driven in. There looked to be a foul, and it is going to be a penalty. Alfiandra brought down. That was a wild one, wasn't it? I think it was Kidavon. Well, that was reckless from Laos. There's an arm in there as well, but oh dear, that is poor defending from Kidavon. I can't think why he would protest that. It really is nothing to argue with. There was a bit of a discussion as to who would take the penalty. It is now going to fall to Asnawi. The fans clearly happy with that decision. They're chanting his name. A chance to score his first ever goal for his country. That is emphatically done. And Indonesia take the lead. They have dominated. Absolutely smashed that. Kyodom had saved a penalty early in the tournament against Vietnam, but no such luck this time. Yeah, when you hit it like that, no goalkeeper in the world is going to save it. That's very nicely done from Asnawi. Indonesia in front. But it was a moment of madness, really, in the box from Kidavon. And Laos have paid the price. Indonesia in control. Here's Ewan Dimas. Far too much on that from Asnawi. Alfiandra back by Irfan. Indonesia embarked on a tour of Turkey. Had a decent time of it. This was prior to the tournament. Lovely work from Asnawi. Taken, looked like a deflection, wasn't a great cross in the end. And they beat some amateur sides and then thrashed Myanmar 4-1. Shin Tae-yong decided that he wasn't going to bring one of the most prolific strikers in Indonesia, Ilya Spasojevic, naturalized player, said he didn't fit into his plans, which did raise some eyebrows. Didik Setiawan. Here's Kambuaya, still on the ball. Kambuaya has done well. Sprayed out wide to Edo Febriansha. As I said, he's pushing right up. So is Asnawi. The fullbacks really in attack mode here. Here's Kidavon, who'll be desperate to make amends after giving away that penalty. First start of this tournament. Forward by Rizky. No real pressing at the moment from Laos. Quite happy to sit back. Irfan. Rahmat Irianto, just trying to play that over the top. Was that a bit of a high boot? No complaints. Quite content, aren't they, just to not pressurize their opponents, Laos. A lovely work from Kushedia. Here's Kambuaya. Oh, and there was a chance there. Bit of a air shot from Didik Setiawan. Yeah, completely missed it, didn't he? Nice work from Billy Kepkyo. It's just gone out of play though. Said it was a very proud moment for him. Also said he needed a bit of time to acclimatise. Had some flashes, hasn't he, Billy Kepkyo in this competition. Had a great chance to score against Vietnam. That would be one to remember in a one-on-one situation. Now comes Billy Kepkyo. Likes to run at players. Got a bit of space here. Brings in Bumpachan. And that shot is blocked. But Indonesia caught a little flat-footed there. And they have a corner. That's better from Laos. Now, these two have been quite a combo, I must say. They've been the most impressive attackers for Laos, Billy Kepkyo and Bumpachan. Taken quickly, put aside. Foul on Kidavon by Irfan. A little bit reckless there from Irfan. Let's remind you of Kidavon and what he did a little bit earlier. It actually looked to be an arm, didn't it, from Billy? But here was Kidavon trying to clear the ball and connecting instead with an Indonesian player to give the penalty that Asnawi put away very nicely indeed. He took out Alfiandra, didn't he, Kidavon? Kidavon is having to get off the pitch for a second. Billy, you know, he tends to go for goal, Billy, in these situations. And the way he's running up would indicate that again. He does that, and it's just over. I think he's done that every single penalty, every single free kick I've seen so far from Billy in this tournament. There's another view of it, and that's actually one of his closer ones. And that will mark their first shot. Half-hour mark gone, and Indonesia a goal up here against Laos via a penalty from Asnawi, as you just saw. Remind you that in that last game against Cambodia, they actually had less of the ball. Cambodia had better possession. Again, that shouldn't necessarily be an indicator of anything, though I think many of these higher-ranked countries or more fancy teams will feel they should be seeing more of the ball. Here's Kidavon. Apexai is coming on, and I am fairly sure this is not injury related. We're hearing it's going to be Mitsada, who's one of their most experienced defenders. Now, he was brought off in the last game, and I tell you what, he went straight down the tunnel. And he was shaking his head, so let's see how he reacts this time. He was not happy. And I think he's actually been one of their better defenders. Well, now actually Apexai is moving off, and I can see he isn't moving particularly comfortably. So I think this one is injury related. Apexai. It is an enforced change, and that is a real shame for Laos. Apexai, 23 years of age, plays for Young Elephants in Laos. And he will, let's just see if they've just changed things around. He'll go into the right side of, or the left side, I should say, of that back three. And Kahan now moves into the middle. Actually, they're just changing that around again, and it will be, in fact, opposite where Mitsada was. Here's Irfan steaming forward. No foul. Right in front of the referee, that one. Here's Ewan Dimas. He saw Kushedio out wide. He's got Asnawi now bombing past him. Overlapping run. Good recovery from Asnawi. Still gets a cross in. Oh, that is a free tap in for Irfan. And Indonesia go 2 up. They've just made that change in defense. Laos, and they got a little bit exposed. A delight for the fans. Indonesia 2 up. Irfan might have just hurt himself. Great run from Asnawi. Recovered superbly. They all seem to be ball watching here. And it just kind of came off him, didn't it, in the end, a little bit. Irfan Jaya. So now with about 10 minutes to go till half-time, Indonesia pretty comfortable. It's a yellow card for the new man in Apisai. I can not really have too many arguments with that one. Probably felt he had to intervene there. Taken quickly. Yeah, well, Dumas thought he might try to take advantage of, to be a little bit of disorganization at the back. So again, it's a really good run, overlapping run here from Asnawi. Good perseverance from him as well. Still got the cross in. And how that evaded all those defenders, well, that will be frustration for Salvaraj, the Laos head coach. There's Kidavon, who's okay, obviously, to carry on. Well, that second goal is going to be a bit of a sucker punch now. Patana's done well to win the ball back for Laos. Here's Billy Ketkyo. Long Liang can't keep that in. Hasn't really had the service, has he, Billy Ketkyo? Someone who's obviously got some quality about him. This is how it looks in Group B, with Malaysia still ahead of Indonesia after their big win over Laos in the last game. Of course, there's still plenty of football in this one, so Indonesia could quite easily overhaul the Malaysians. And remember that both Malaysia and Indonesia, by the end of today, or by the end of this match, I should say, will have got their two easiest games out of the way, with all due respect to the teams I'm about to mention, Laos and Cambodia, the two lowest ranked sides. And then the real test begins for Malaysia. That will be tonight. That's a blockbuster clash here in the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020 against defending champions Vietnam, a repeat of the 2018 final. A lot of people highly anticipating that one. Billy Ketkyo. Clumsy from him on Alfeandra. Trying to be maybe a little too clever there. Ball lost by Patana. Evan Dumas given away to Kidavon. Keeps going here, Kidavon, and Evan Dumas has done well to win the ball back. Alfeandra. Now Kambuaya. Flag stays down. He's onside here. Bumpachan's waiting for Billy Ketkyo. Instead, he finds Kidavon. He's going to go for goal! Oh, what a fantastic strike that is! Kidavon, who was responsible for the penalty that gave Indonesia the lead, more than makes up amends. And that is a great goal from him. Laos are back in this. Well, Bumpachan, he could have slipped that in to Billy, which might have been the smarter option, some would say, but he saw the space. That Kidavon was in, and he arrowed that into the far corner. I don't think really any blame can be put on Armando. That's the first thing he's had to do all game, is pick the ball out from the back of his own goal. They said they would score today, and they've lived up to their word. That is the first goal Laos have scored in this year's competition. They scored 3 last time out. Laos. They got one against Malaysia last time, and they lost 3-1. This time they lost 4-0. They got one against Cambodia, which will be a matchup later in this tournament. Got one against Myanmar in the other group this time. Can they hit back immediately? Irfan with the chance. It's a free header, isn't it? Not the tallest of players. He really had to jump up for that one. The Indonesian player, the Indonesian fans are saying one more goal. I think they won a few more than that. This was a game they had targeted, and there'll be more questions of that defence. They've now conceded 3 goals to the supposed minnows of this group in Cambodia and Laos. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. The Salvaraj, they've only ever won 3 matches in the AFF, 2 matches, I should say, out of 35 coming into this tournament. Had a few draws, 5 draws, but they've also had the worst defense by a long, long shot. 141 goals conceded in 35 matches before this tournament. Kidavon. It will be a bit nervy now for Indonesia. Just before half-time. Here's Bumpachan. Now Billy. Back to Bumpachan. They're surging forward in numbers here. This falls wide to Long Liang. It's a great ball! Oh, he was so close, wasn't he? Outstretched leg of Billy Ketkyo. It was going to be offside anyway. The flag had gone out, but they are a little shell-shocked at the moment, Indonesia. Yeah, he didn't pull himself back, did he, Billy? Anyway, he wouldn't have made it. Let's see that ball fizzed across by Long Liang. I don't think they want the half-time whistle to go yet. I think there will be a little bit of added time, of course. Well, this is not going to plan at the moment, as far as Indonesia are concerned. Here's Edo. Free kick just before the break. just the 1 minute now we're hearing. Well, if they can score this, that will at least give them that 2-goal advantage again. We'll try and take up as much time, make sure this is the last bit of play. Alfreada and Irfan. Here's Irfan. He's curled it just wide of the upright. Wow, we have reached half-time here. And this is quite the game now. Indonesia dominating the early proceedings. Seeing a lot of the ball, almost 80% of it. And it was a bit of a wild lash out from Kiravon on Alfreada that led to a penalty. Asnawi smashed that in. And then they got a second goal where they looked pretty comfortable at that point. Irfan also seeing Kadek Agung come on for Kushedia, who's had a very tough time, as we mentioned earlier. Condolences to him, of course, the passing of his father very, very recently. So changes then, look at that, 1.94 meters tall, Elkan Baggett, who plays for Ipswich Town, under 23s. He is absolutely massive. Born in Bangkok, Indonesian mother and English father. Wasn't always keen on representing Indonesia, finally got persuaded. He's been in the UK for about 10 years now. And made his debut in a friendly match against Afghanistan. Played for 68 minutes there. So let's see how he does here. A lot of attention on him. His father has flown in from the UK, we hear, and in the stand somewhere to watch his son make his first competitive debut for Indonesia. Here he is going up for the header, which he will win very easily up against Kiravon. But more importantly, Laos are just a goal behind Indonesia. This is something of a surprise, I think. Their first goal in the competition, so you can imagine that is going to provoke some reaction, having already conceded 2 against Cambodia. Kiravon is down. He's been told to get off the pitch. Remind you, he's had an eventful game, not least of which this goal. Look at that. He took his time, picked his spot, and executed that brilliantly. Well, Visavraj is going berserk on the side with Sundramoorthy. Soksala, Solisak, I should say, in goal now at the back. Just looking to see if there's any little change here in how they're going to shape up here, Indonesia. Dipachan. Good news is that back to the full complement. Here's Kidavon, the goal scorer, on that right-hand side. He's got Edo, who's fast. Now, put aside. Patana. Oh, he's just shown too much of the ball. Unnecessary from him. He'll probably get a card for that. Patana. Did he really need to do that? Corner. Now, guess who will be the one to keep an eye out for? That man there at 194. He towers over absolutely everyone and no surprises. He just misses it though. Edo with a follow-up shot. Still Edo. Kahan loses the ball. Billy doing his bit there. It's absolutely, everyone else is dwarfed by Alkan Baggett. Well, looking on in the stands, right next to me is the Malaysian coach, Tan Cheng Ho, and his team, of course, in action later on. But the conventional wisdom is that Vietnam will top this group as the defending champions, the #1 team in ASEAN at the moment, who are the overwhelming favourites. And it would be between Malaysia and Indonesia for that second spot. Of course, we'll know more. Evan Dimas. That was already out of play, to be fair. The whistle had gone. That will not count for Didik Setiawan. I think he kind of knew that already. So there will be, on the final day of Group B, Malaysia and Indonesia with another massive, massive game in the rivalry that those two have. So Tan Cheng Ho will be looking at this and feeling quietly a bit happy about this, of course, if Laos can peg back the Indonesians. Another corner here. This piece is now going to be a potent weapon for Indonesia. It's Tipachan who's got the unenviable task of keeping an eye on the gargantuous Elkan Baggett, which evades him. The keeper as well was caught out there. Soselak. Long Leung clears. Will be a throw-in. Still alive here. Alfeandra. Here's Elkan Baggett. Now Edo. Irfan. Again, it's solid at the back. We know the Laotians are organised and compact. They won't mind this. They'll be okay to have the ball in front of them and fizzed around. They've been pretty good like this. They've actually, it's only been when they've caught out on counter-attacks at times. And transition is where they have been found wanting. Should also tell you about the other player that has just come on, Kadek Agung, 23-year-old, plays for Bali United, midfielder. He spent his entire senior career scored for Indonesia against Thailand in the World Cup qualifier. Indonesia drew that 2-2. Bit of an upset result, that one, in many ways. Oh, it's found its way in! Clipping the post along the way. I was just talking about these opportunities. Indonesia have got an all-important third. Witan Sulaiman, who's come on for Kushedro. He's one of their big stars. He's taken that really well, Witan Sulaiman. A new breed of young player that's plying his trade overseas. And he makes his presence felt. In fact, it was him rather than Kadek Agung that has come on as Witan Sulaiman. An important goal there for the 20-year-old. They feel a bit more comfortable now, I'm sure. It's been good pressure at the start of the second half. Shot there from Devanga. That's a big relief, isn't it, to get that third. And he's taken that very well. Witan Sulaiman. Relief, I think, all round for the Indonesians. They've got back that 2-goal deficit. Billy Kekyo. And the Laos bench absolutely apoplectic that they're not getting a free kick. statement of intent to bring on Malcolm back and Winton Sulaiman here, who's an exciting winger, looking to make his mark. Moved to Poland only in September. To bring in some of that experience he's had. He was with the Serbian side before that, Radnik Sudalica. Played a starring role in Indonesia's run to the quarterfinals in the 2018 AFC Under-19 Championships. Playing out wide on the right-hand side where Kushetra was earlier. Kiravon. Muscle off the ball. Looked across the referee, hoping for something more. Somse is coming on. Somse Kyohanam. It's a forward here for Shidi. Now, I just wonder whether they're going to go 4 now at the back. Let's have a look. Somse is actually going into a wing-back position, so they're going to maintain that. Loose ball. And Didik just looks up to the heavens there. Not even close, that one. Oh dear, the official has also found himself in a spot of bother there. So he hit the target, the official, rather than Didik, who was well off target. Witan Sulaiman out to Asnawi. Some teams do take a bit of time to warm up in tournaments, and for sure should be gathering too much from these performances just yet. The big matches still to come for Indonesia. I think most countries have had some form of criticism here so far from the fans. Southeast Asian fans, of course, very, very passionate. The media as well, and I think the coaches are always asking for a little bit of patience. This is a long tournament. Still some way to go for the countries that are fancy to get through, but there are 3 so-called big teams in each group of 5. Only 2 of them can go through. Keeper just hesitated, away by Tipachan. Here's Baggett. Switches that out towards Asnawi. Here's Patana. Billy should get there first. Good work from him, but then he proceeds to lose it immediately. Tipachan does enough. Here's Billy Ketkyo. Oh, he's never getting to that. He needed a better ball from Tipachan, who immediately apologizes. I think he knows that really had to be a much better ball than that, didn't it? Lacking that bit of quality, the Laotians. So Laos have already made 3 of their 5 changes. One seemed to be enforced. That was Mitsada. Towards the end of the first half. Then Kyodom, the goalkeeper, replaced. Shidi has also been taken off. Lovely return ball. Edo Febriansha. Away by Patana. It has been pretty much all Indonesia in this second half. As he kept that in, actually, that was really nicely done by Asnawi. Crashes into the boards, but he's okay. There will be a corner here for Indonesia. Up the other end, the corner. Shin Tae-yong is calling out to his players. Oh, spilled by the keeper. It's backfiring. Alfeandra has had a number of long-range efforts today. Got to clear their lines. They finally get it away through Bunpachan. Putusai won't get there. Tipachan, I think, just got winded. He'll be okay. Thumbs up. He just needs a moment. There's a man who's been the talk of Indonesian football for a while now. Malcolm Baggett. Shin Tae-yong having a chat with the interpreter as to what he needs to be doing. Well, if Laos have any intentions of getting something out of this game, they have about 25 minutes left to do so, and they still could make a couple of changes if they so choose. Could be stretched here, Laos. Flag stays down. Oh, and it's just wide. Witan Sulaiman. Well, they were exposed. As we mentioned, these transition moves are where they have problems, Laos in particular. Ball slipped through by Didik. It's actually, did appear like he got a hand on that, didn't it? Soslak. Now, a bit of a problem here for Laos, because Solasak is requiring some treatment. They have got Saisavat on the bench as their third choice keeper. Let's remind you of how it is 3-1. This was the penalty shot. Kirovon lashing out there, trying to clear the ball at Alfiandra, and then Asnawi with a very good penalty to make it 1-0 at that point. Then a bit of ball watching, poor defending there, allowed Irfan to bundle in. Kirovon amazingly there, because they were against run of play. They weren't really offering much of an attacking threat, making it 2-1 at half time. And just after the break, the substitute Witan Sulaiman making a difference and scoring Indonesia's third. Solesak is fine for now. Ezra Walian is going to come on, presumably for Dedek Setiawan. Up front, I think we're seeing an additional change as well in Fakhruddin Arianto, and that probably means Alfiandra is going to make way. Alfiandra. And that could be his last touch of the ball. We'll just wait to see. And yeah, it is indeed Dedek Setiawan who's replaced. Ezra Walian goes off. Well, it is going to be risky. Who is replaced by Fakhruddin Arianto. The centre of defence. Many thought he would actually start off in this tournament. He is one of the most experienced members of this squad. In fact, he is the most experienced with 37 caps. Plays for Madura United, the 32-year-old Fakhruddin. Been in and out of the side since 2012. Actually made his debut for Indonesia against Laos at the AFF Suzuki Cup back in 2012. So a nice bit of symmetry there. Too much on that ball. Here's Billy Kekyo. Oh, he's missed that chance, and he tries to swing at that, and he misses. Frustration for Billy Kekyo. Desperately looking to score his first goal for his new country. Here's Asnawi. So Indonesia now have made 4 changes. Here's Witan Sulaiman. Asnawi gives that away. Long Luang. Bumpachan loses the ball. Got a foul on Long Luang. We've got Alfredo Dewanga now. He's playing in front of the back four. So maintaining that 4-1-4-1. And it's Fakhruddin and Elkan Baggett at the back. Loose ball, Ezra Walian. He just seemed to take an age, didn't he, to get to the ball. It was in favour of Solasak overall. Ezra Walian, who's just come on, 24 years of age, plays for Persib Bandung. Born in Amsterdam, played for Ajax in his youth and AZ Alkmaar. Recently only came to Indonesia to play there, PSM Makassar in 2019. Father is Indonesian, mother is Dutch. Did actually make his debut for Indonesia in 2017. Hasn't played a lot since. Off the woodwork and stanchion in the end. Almost looked like a goal, didn't it, from Evan Dimas. Hit that well, didn't he? "17 attempts so far from Indonesia, only 5 on target. They've scored 3 of those. Not too many from Laos. And that is the department, I think, that they know they have struggled with. That's why they brought in the likes of Billy Kekio, just to beefing things up there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official attendance for today is 207. Thank you for your support.
Nice touch on there from Kambuaya, and there you go! Ezra Walian, who got a little bit of criticism in the lead up to this game, opens his account here in the AFF Suzuki Cup. Scored in a friendly against Myanmar a couple weeks ago, and this is his first competitive goal for Indonesia. He's taken that well, and now the points surely safe with the Garudas. He's absolutely delighted with that. The 2 substitutes have come on and scored, Witan Sulaiman and Ezra Walian. There's going to be another change, a 5th and final one for Indonesia. It's going to be Ramai Rumakek, who scored a great goal against Cambodia in the previous match. Be interesting to see the reaction to this one, this game. Indonesia still in 2nd spot on goal difference. That could still change, of course. Irfan, Evan Dimas, Putasai. Here's Edo Febriansyah. And now that final change to be made. I think it could well be Irfan. It is indeed. He's worked hard. Irfan, of course, he's got that goal. Ramai Umakek. Impressive when he came on in the last game. 19 years of age. And the whistle has gone before that header was put in by Fakhruddin Arianto. It is not a goal, by the way, in case everyone's getting a little excited in the crowd. There was a foul by Arianto on Kahan. So it still remains a 4-1. One back by Ruma Rumakek, and that's a great shot and an equally good save from Solasaki. Does love those long-range efforts, doesn't he? Ramai Rumakek, just 19, already catching the eye. 2 goals in 4 appearances for his country. Almost got his 3rd in 6. He only made his debut a couple months ago, making his mark. Corner here for Indonesia with less than 10 minutes to go. Oh, it's off the crossbar from Elkan Baggett. And that would have been a great story as well. No, actually, it was the upright in the end, wasn't it? Just near that corner where they meet. But he will be a big weapon in those set-piece situations. He wants more goals. He said he wanted as many as possible, and that could make a difference later on in the final reckoning. And they're pushing, aren't they, Indonesia? Back to Baggett. Alfiandra. There's a lot of bodies in there. Billy, he's got Putasai. Oh, and there was a great chance there for Billy. Had to get that past the keeper, Enanda, who was very alert. It was a 1-on-1 situation otherwise, and he would have cleared him and certainly would have been number 2. And that might have just played him into the reckoning for the next match. But Enando, by the way, has just gone down the Indonesian keeper. He is very annoyed with himself. Lovely pass, by the way, by Putasai to release Billy Ketkyo. Good news for Indonesia is Amando has just got out, but he's not looking comfortable. We'll keep an eye on that one. Oh, Dimas in a good position here. Tries to slip that through, and it does make its way beyond the line. It is number 5 now for the Indonesians. And Evan Dimas has scored 2 in 2. Delightful ball in. Alfeandra. It's a good-looking ball, isn't it? A bit too easy, that one. They've been fairly solid in those sort of situations. Lovely ball by Alfeandra. He's showing his versatility here. Dimas gets that in for goal number 5. And this is a rout now. And the most number of goals they have conceded in this tournament thus far. Reminded that they lost 4-0 to Malaysia, 5-1 here today. They wanted goals. Indonesia, they have got goals. And with that, I'm sure we'll see shortly, Indonesia are now ahead in the table. That's lovely work from Bumpachan. Must just remind you that both Indonesia and Malaysia still have each other to play, and Vietnam. And Vietnam will be the game a little bit later on this evening. To be fair, they've scored 9 goals in 2 games. Not to be scoffed at, the Indonesians. There's still 5 minutes plus amount of time here. There you go. There's the table with Indonesia on top for now. Unless Laos can do something. They're just getting warmed up, aren't they, the Indonesians? Forget all this criticism. They've still got plenty to offer. There's Ramai. Now Witan. Alfeandra, Kambuaya. Oh, great ball from Kambuaya to Witan Sulaiman. Dimas recycles it, still alive here for the Indonesians. Anywhere will do right now. Alfeandra, he is he's really quite keen on these long-range shots, isn't he? Why not? 5-1 up. Might as well go for it. Well, he'll be happy, Shin Tae-yong. Don't think he really cares about the critics at the moment. He's just worried about how his team's performing, and they are doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. Putasai, there's a foul on him from Kambuaya. Good work from Billy. Still with Billy Kekyo. He's got options wide. Here's Long Liang. Has to go back. Ramai. Now Baggett. That lone goal from Kidavon seems quite some time ago now, doesn't it? And certainly a lot of possession for Indonesia today, offside on Ezra Walian. We'll have a little cameo for two players. Putavong. Bumpachan is replaced by Vanason.
Substitution for Laos number 17, Bumpachan, to be replaced by number 19, LC Takalansi. Number 25, to be replaced by number 2, Putavong.
Putavong comes on. And that is all their changes. Putavong is left wing back. 17-year-old Putavong. What a time for him to come out. Only just turned 17, by the way, I can tell you. And Bumpachan, who I think has been excellent, really, in this tournament, replaced by Vanason, will just play in that left side of the attack. So giving some of the youngsters a chance. Vanason, 24 years of age, just his 5th cap, plays for Young Elephants. Are we going to get a 6th goal just to underline where they are on the table? All could make a difference. Asnawi, first time. Decent save as well again from Sosalak. He's had a couple of good saves, hasn't he, Solasak, since he's come on as onside. Took that first time, Asnawi. Sat up nicely for him, didn't it? It was there to be hit. There's Rawalian with that effort. Still about 3.5 minutes to go here. Nice touch on Walian. Patana does enough. Kiravon. Down the line to Putasai. Still working hard here, Laos. Asnawi right down the middle. Witan Sulaiman. Seems to have switched a little bit there with Kambuaya has gone wide for a little while. And Witan has just gone through the middle. Here is Kambuaya now. You can see what Kambuaya was trying to do for Witan. Into the final minute. One last opportunity. They look hungry for another. Here's Witan. And the new man in, Vanason. His first time in this tournament. Nice work from him, but after weaving his way through that midfield, gives it away. Last few seconds here for Indonesia. Here's Kambuaya. Deandro Dewanga with another long-range shot, which is blocked this time. So Indonesia, with the 3 points that they had targeted, and they, in the end, finished with quite the flourish. They knew that some of the knives were out for them, unfairly or not, but they have won pretty emphatically here. Maybe not quite the case.
제가 준비했는 거는 첫 경기 두 경기보다는 이제 앞으로 다가올 베트남, 말레이시아 팀하고 우리가 잘 준비해야 된다고 생각하고 이제까지 경기해왔기 때문에 첫 경기, 두 번째 경기보다 더 중요한 경기, 베트남 경기에 모든 것을 맞추려고 생각하고 있습니다.
We actually focused, the upcoming matches. So last two games, including today's match, we thought it's kind of our rehearsal. So although we had some the weakness, but we can just develop and just amend it, and then anyway, just so we can focus on the the next match.
And Alkenberger has joined the squad. How important is his presence going forward?
Say again?
Alkenberger has come into the squad. How important is he going forward for the rest of the campaign? Alkenberger.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Alkenberger, the player who's come into the squad, how important is he in the presence for the rest of the tournament? Okay. Yeah, so it's Alkenberger.
엘칸이 조인을 하면서 어떤 점들이 좀 좋아지고 그런 부분들에서 어떤 기대를 하고 계신지요?
일단 우리 엘칸 선수가 조인하면서 이제 높이가 좋아지고 또 유럽에서 경험하던 파워 축구가 아무래도 수비에서 힘이 실리기 때문에 전체적으로 수비 라인에서 아마 힘이 많이 생기지 않았나 그런 모습이 엘칸한테 엘칸이 우리 팀에 많은 도움을 줄 것 같아요.
Because he joined our team, and then our weight of defensive line became heavier. So it means our defensive line became a bit more strength. We got a bit more strength because of the outcome joined our team.
Thank you very much and good luck for the rest
Thank
of the
you.
tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coach, I know it's been a tough journey so far in this tournament, but what is the one positive you can take out from the last couple of games?
I think the positive thing from this match is I played more young boys, and it has definitely been a very good experience for them. It's a very young team. Started off well, in the first half. We scored and gave them a lot of confidence. But they must know the game is 90 minutes. So we tried our best to keep our shape. Our defense very tight, but superior side Indonesia individually and as a group, they are definitely a far better team. So in the end, we paid a heavy price for some mistakes that we did at the back. Yeah.
And was the substitution for the goalkeeper Kyo, was that fitness related?
Yeah, he had some issues with his hamstring, so it's better for us to remove him and replace him and bring in a fresh goalkeeper.
And in the build-up to the match, Park Hang-seo, the Vietnamese coach, said you were one of the weakest side. What was the reaction from the changing room to that?
I mean, that's his opinion, and I know about my team, and we are very young team, so we are capable of mistakes as well as match experience, And they are a side that has been fresh from World Cup qualifiers. In fact, all the teams in our group has a lot of experience playing the World Cup qualifier except for us. So definitely it's an advantage for all the rest of the teams. So all we can do is just regroup, bring back the confidence in them and try our best for the next game.
Thank you very much, Coach. All right.